Hello, Public Access presents All About Books with Paul Kinkade.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Paul Kinkade, and this is All About Books, where we read them so you don't have to. Tonight's guest is a very, very talented, inspirational person who, does something that not all of us are capable of doing. I'm talking about none other than Thomas Crisp, whose book, The Bee Whisperer, is hot off the presses. Juan, get us a shot of The Bee Whisperer, could you? Okay, thanks, Juan. Thank you very much. Welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me, but I want to make something clear to everybody. I don't talk to all bees, just certain bees, and mostly the male drones. I haven't really communicated well with the females yet.
And why is that?
I don't know. They just ignore me.
Mm-hmm.
The females just ignore me, but the males, they've told me a lot, and I think it's important that I bring their message.
I think that's good. Just out of curiosity, you say the female bees ignore you.
Well, most people don't know, but the vast majority of bees are female.
How long have you been talking to bees? Or whispering to bees, should I say?
It's more of a buzz.
The buzz.
A whisper.
I see.
It's like a vibration.
Kind of,
one.
okay.
And I've been, for quite some time, I used to sleep next to a beehive.
Really?
Well, you all know about the vanishing bees that are happening.
Yes.
And I took this personally, and so I thought, they have all these scientists working over things, looking for stuff, and I said, why not just ask the bees? So I tried to tune myself into their vibration.
Get into their vibration.
And eventually I got an answer.
Now, when you first started out, I know you're known as the Bee Whisperer, but did you initially shout to them? Because I don't know what their sense of hearing is like.
It's more like one crawled into my ear and whispered to me.
It whispered to you?
Yes.
What kind of things did this bee whisper?
Well, the interesting thing about it is I can't talk to all bees.
Oh.
There's only I only talk to the male bees, which are called the drones.
The drones, okay.
And I got a lot of information that's pertinent to what I feel is society from listening to what they had to say.
Yes.
Most people don't know that most of a hive is all female. The queen's female and all the workers are all female.
So they don't communicate with you.
The workers are sterile female.
I see.
And then the drones, there's only a small percentage of them. And their life, their little arms aren't even big enough to feed themselves honey. So the females constantly are cleaning them, feeding them. And their only purpose in life is really to mate.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of males would say that.
This book is kind of geared for males because after what I've learned, now when I go to the polls, I vote for all the women I see. Because from what I've learned, it's like, how bad could life be if somebody takes care of you? And I think that people should adopt the way the bees live.
Yeah, that's really touching.
So basically, the males could sit home and watch football and be fed beer, be catered beer.
Excuse me.
I mean,
the bees watch football?
Well, it's kind of an analogy to our life, and
I mean, with the bees, the football would be about this big.
Well, yes, that's true. But see, the females are out just beating the bush.
They're beating the bush?
Flowers, and they actually will work themselves to death.
Were they?
In 20 days in the summertime.
Well, it's hot.
So, but the males stay home, and they just kind of catered to, and all they think about is the moment they get to.
Okay, well, tell me this: when the bees are out doing the pollen thing.
Okay, the females.
The females.
The drones don't.
In the extreme heat, how do they stay cool, or do they have? Again, I know nothing.
They drink water.
They drink water, okay.
But they I guess their wings just fan them. They stay cool.
So in other words, your wings wouldn't so much cool you down, but your neighbors.
No, but see, if you adopt the bee lifestyle,
I see.
you're home sitting on the couch and the females are fanning you.
Easy now. That's okay.
You know, and I thought, this is great. Men should let the women have complete control. They should elect them president. Let them, and then we just sit home and think about mating and eating. I think that's the secret to life, right?
Well, oftentimes that's all males do think about.
Well, I mean, no, but the bees are living that style.
Oh, okay. So they're setting the standard that we all should follow? Is that what you're suggesting?
That's why I wrote the book. My motivation for the whole book is to just express to the males, elect them president, elect them Congress, let them take control. We have everything to gain and nothing to lose.
Now tell me, in your communication with the drone bees, are these American bees?
Okay, there's European breeds and there's Americanized breeds, and of course everybody knows about the African breed, the killer bees.
Yes.
But they all have their dialects.
The dialects?
The women will not listen. I can't understand what they're saying at all.
Okay, I have to ask.
And they don't listen to me when I talk.
I understand that. In real life, aside from the bees, do women listen to you?
Well, that's why I think the parallels are sliding closer and closer. And,
so you have a problem communicating with females?
When I first was worried about the disappearing bees, I thought that maybe they'd found another dimension.
Really?
So I followed them for many years, trying to look to where that point in where space and time where they just disappeared. But I never found that.
How many years have you been whispering to bees? I know our viewer wants to know.
Probably 15 or 20.
15 or 20.
But yeah.
Now, obviously, because
about the same time I've been married.
Okay, but with the lifespan of a bee, obviously you've not been able to talk to the same bee or whisper to the same bee all these 20 years.
It's males. The males will talk.
Yes, but what I'm saying, it's not the same bee for 20 years.
No. Like I said, I can go up to any beehive and I can communicate well with the males. You know, and this is another great thing about the males. They can't sting you.
They can't.
They will not. They don't even. They can't do it.
And why not?
So
they don't have a stinger?
They're docile, good old boys that you just want to hang out with every Sunday. I mean, it's
watching the football.
Exactly, and it's like from them I've learned everything needed.
Well,
to
I'm surprised you didn't bring a photo for us to look of, see of you in an easy chair with a tiny little chair next to you for the bee.
The bee. Well, yeah, we're buds.
The buds. Okay. Have you found whispering to bees that they talk about? Careful there.
Right. It's just a reflex I've developed over the years.
I see. But that's kept you safe.
Most of the time.
Okay.
Have you checked these flowers, by the way? I don't know if...
Plastic.
Oh, okay, good, because you never know what's there. You know.
I've seen. I used to have a puppy that used to dig this, like this little move you have with your back foot, or his back foot. I didn't mean your back foot. You only have 2 feet.
Well, like I said, you've been around enough. You just get these nervous twitches that just linger after. Even sometimes the tracers, you know. Tracers. Yes, occasional dive bombers, you know.
Dive bombers.
Yeah, it's like.
But you're ready.
It's kind of.
If your hand doesn't get them, your hat will.
The hat's very important because they get in the hair and they crawl around and they just stay there. And it's so. That
sounds terrible.
It can be.
It can be.
Jump in water.
Jumping water.
Jump in water.
Oh, jump in water.
That's the one thing they don't like. That's the safe.
And what happens if you aren't near a swimming pool to jump in?
Run really well. No, roll.
Roll.
Drop
and roll.
Yeah.
Drop and roll.
Yeah.
They can't, because they can't follow you.
Well, it's like you're crushing them as you're
as you roll along.
Yeah, the females.
Again.
The males can't sting.
Okay.
Just remember that.
So you drop and roll and crush the females.
Yeah, if they're stinging you.
And has this happened often to you?
A few times.
Few times.
Yeah.
Like how many in your lifetime? How many bees have you crushed?
Oh, it's how many times have I been sting's better.
Yeah.
It's
and.
Hundreds.
But
you know, sometimes if you build up an allergic reaction to bee stings,
all it takes is one.
Well, yeah, over time you can build up. You know, you can lose your immunity to it and become hypersensitive, and then you can just blow up like a balloon.
Well, we're glad that you're okay, and
all
we're
right.
glad that you're here, and grateful that you...
Well, I'm glad to be here, and I hope the men in the world read the book and let the women have what they want.
Yeah, the bee whisperer.
Okay.
Okay. Have you found that by whispering to the bees, you have discovered that their ability to create the honey has increased?
Well, this is the marvelous thing. We don't know how honey's made. We can't replicate that. So it's a mystery to us, how the chemistry happens and stuff. So that's their...
What do you think it's made from?
Well, it's made, they use the nectars and stuff, and it goes into a special organ in their body, and then something magical happens. So that's not where I'm at with them. To me, it's like more of a social order, and that was the creation of the book, was like to show a new social order, where it's like I think that the females should take charge. Well, I can't be more adamant about that, because I think what's wrong and out of balance in the world is we don't listen to the bees, and the boys are saying sit home on the couch, watch TV. Eat your chips. And let the women do the job. Just mate with your wife, and that's all you have to do.
That's
just let them have control.
Well, having read almost a chapter of your book, I have to say that up to now, I'd have to say it's one honey of a book.
Oh, thank you very much.
But you probably heard that before, I suppose. I hate to cut away from our wonderful interview this evening, but we'll be right back.
You've been watching All About Books with Paul Kinkade. Tonight's episode is sponsored by Murray's Mints, the mint that solves every social issue. Now here's Murray.
Yeah, all right, I'm ready. Hey, Pepe, I hear you're having problems with females of the opposite sex. Do what Murray would do. If he had problems with females of the opposite sex. Put a mint in it. You want to zoom in on my product here? Put a mint in it. Murray's Mints. And remember, what? I'm Murray. How was that? Thought it was good. Thought it went well. How did you... Hey, am I in focus?
And now, back to the show with Paul Kinkade and his guest, Thomas Crisp.
Well, I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
Okay, this is totally unplanned, viewer, but this evening I have a bee that I would like you to demonstrate to our viewer your whispering capabilities.
Now, do you know the sex of this bee?
I'm not sure. Not sure. But
well, the drones are slightly larger,
well, I really wouldn't have it. I had a
all
photo.
Right, well,
of,
you know what? I've been around enough. I think I can handle it.
Now, I will tell you that the person I got the bee from assured me that it's trained, and so initially you'll down here.
He was able to train it.
He was. Wow. He was. He went from fleas to bees.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So anyway, you put your hand inside, and he's been trained to walk up your finger, to get on the top of your hand, and then you can gently bring him to your ear to hear what he says. How's that sound?
I'll listen. I'm not. If I hope it's a male. That's all I can say.
Okay. Okay. Don't want to disturb him. Okay. Go ahead and. Oh, there he is. There he is. Right. Gently put your hand in.
All right. All right.
Is it on your fingernail?
No, that's a female. Oh, God! Oh, shit!
Hey! Juan, cut!
Got me in the vein.
No, careful! Cut! What? Oh my God! Look at the damn bees flying all over the. Oh no! Hey, I can. Why? Look at his face. It's blown up like a balloon. Juan, you got to call 911. It's horrible. It's horrible. Wait a minute. I'm going to tease the bee. Oh, thank God. Folks, we'll be back in a moment. I want to assure everyone that Mr. Crisp is going to, you'll forgive me, be okay. He's in somewhat of a shock state. He's on his way to the county hospital as we speak. But I wanted to thank him for joining us this evening with All About Books, and to remind you to purchase his book, The Bee Whisperer, which is available at lots of bookstores all across the country. That's All About Books for tonight. We'll see you again. Bye.
You've been watching All About Books with Paul Kinkade. His guest tonight, Thomas Crisp's new book, The Bee Whisperer, can be found at the following shops. At Karen's Honey Pump Gas and Wax Service Station, where on Mondays Thomas will be signing copies of his book. It's near the corner of Seawood and Thompson. At all the locals' farmers markets, through Hazel's Ginger Honey, and of course she just loves Thomas's honey. And Hillary's Powerhouse Emporium, where, not unlike Thomas, she too feels women should rule the world. Thank you and good night.